develop your intimacy.
Yuri, what are you doing?
I can blind myself. Hello, it's my birthday.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in again. Today I want to talk about quiet time, and I'm sure you all might have your own ways of quiet time. So I want to take you through my journey of how my quiet time has changed from the beginning till now. So quiet time is basically your one-on-one time with God, where you develop your relationship with God, where you develop your intimacy with God, and yeah, that's quiet time. So quiet time was a part of my whole life, technically growing up, but it was more of a chore because I was told that I have to wake up in the morning, read my Bible, or pray before I get up. It was a chore, or before I go to my school. Like, I would pray before I step out of my house, and that's a involuntary, inbuilt habit that I built while growing up, but I still do it involuntarily, but there's a whole deep meaning now when I do it. But growing up, it was just a chore. You need to pray before you eat, you need to thank God before you eat. It had no meaning in my life, but then I did it because I was told to, and that was the right thing to do. Well, that helped, but now that I am where I am, I have grown from that place to where I am now, and it was quite a big journey. And it's interesting how God teaches you even how to be intimate with Him, how to have a one-on-one time with Him and spend that time with Him. It's beautiful. So for me, in the beginning, because I always know to read my Bible before I go out of the house, anytime before I go to school, that was a little habit, which I would just read a random verse, one or two, or I would have a chapter, that's my favorite, like Psalms 121, and or I would read Psalms 23, Psalms, a lot of Psalms actually. Growing up, that was my quick go-to. If you're going out, you quickly open your Bible and read a certain verse or a certain chapter. That was my quiet time, and I thought that is the quiet time. But when I grew up, and then when I actually found Christ for myself and realized that He is the one I want to follow, and I want to live a life of Christian, that's when my actual quiet time started. And it was a struggle for me growing up. In the beginning, it was really tough. I couldn't spend 5 minutes of my time with Him, and I would feel guilty for not spending at least half an hour or 1 hour. I used to see people who would have 1 hour quiet time, or they wake up in the morning and they say, I've heard people who read their Bible for 2 hours 40 minutes, because 10% of your day. So when I heard these stories, I would aspire to be that. I'm still not there yet, but one day I would want to spend my 10% of my day with God. It's like giving tithe, and I always believe that tithing is not just your money, but your time, your energy, the way you serve God, everything. So that's something I'm aspiring to. So I used to beat myself that I couldn't give my 2 hours 40 minutes a day spend with God, because I couldn't even spend 2 minutes. So it was a super interesting time. I would beat myself up and I would feel really good the days I spent at least 10-15 minutes in reading Bible or in worship or praying, and I would feel crap the day where I would, you know, I couldn't spend time, or I was distracted. I had different thoughts and I didn't know how to control my thoughts, and I would give in and I would let go and, you know, let go of my Bible and just, you know, go to bed or go do my daily things that I would do. So I would feel really bad and guilty, and that's not God's heart for you to feel guilty or feel bad that you couldn't spend time with him. It's a journey. It's like you going to a gym and picking up 2 kilos today, so tomorrow you pick up 2.5 kilos, and next day you pick up 3 kilos. So it's a journey. So it's the same with God. Like, your journey starts with that little prayer before your lunch or before you leaving the house, to spending maybe a whole day with him one day. I still struggle sometimes. There's so many distractions, there's so many things in your life that you have to do, so I'm still in the journey. But that's how I started my quiet time, where I would force myself to wake up on a certain time, which is great, and I would it was hard, but I would at least read my Bible for 10 minutes or read a chapter or two, and make sure I would also force myself to get a revelation out of it. Sometimes it's not, sometimes you read something and it doesn't make any sense. It's not for you to force a revelation. It's the Lord's time that you get a revelation, right? But I would force myself if I did not get a revelation or read the verse again and again, to, like, I would be desperate to find something by myself. But well, we all do that, and I would beat myself up if I did not get a revelation, and then slowly the journey grew, my journey with God, when I would not understand the meaning of the verse that I read 5 days ago, and I'm beating myself up, and something happens and the verse speaks to me now. So it's the Lord's timing that you get a revelation, that the verse that you read or the message that you heard will speak into your life when the time is right. So it's not bad when you don't get a revelation at that time. So I would beat myself up when like during my quiet time if I didn't get any revelation, and I would feel really bad the whole day, or I would feel like I'm far away from God. It's interesting now. I look back and smile at those days where I would feel all these emotions, and I didn't know where the Lord was leading me, but yeah, now it makes sense, and I'm much more calmer and quieter now. My quiet time is just to be in his presence without expecting anything, and of course expecting as well as not expecting anything. I just know that spending time with him is the best thing I can do throughout my life. Nothing would come closer to that quiet time, and and then slowly from that journey, spending time, I was dependent on worship music. I had to have worship music to just stay in God's presence, and slowly that turned into going for walks with God. Like, that slowly turned into just sitting in my bathtub and praying. Like, there was I did some weird things the whole journey. I think I still do some weird things in my quiet time. So yeah, like I had to, it's a discipline that you have to develop to spend time with God. For me, it was waking up early and reading my Bible, spending some time praying. Then slowly it became highlighting the verses and putting that in a journal. And also, I wanted to make my journal look pretty, so I had so many highlighters. I had so many sticky notes in my journal. I'll find some and I'll try to put it in the editing if I can. I still have them. Like when I started my journal, I still hold some of them, and I have new journals now, but it's not as fancy as it was before, because I would put so much time into it and write every verse. Like if I had a revelation that would be in a different color, I would write my dreams down. I still write my dreams down, but yeah, I would spend time in making it look prettier, and that would make me feel good. It's like a cute little kid growing up. You color things, you doodle and give it to your mom and dad, kind of thing for me. Yeah, that's how I started, and now I'm in a place where I just spend time by being by myself and just being present in the moment. That is my quiet time right now. I read my Bible. I don't force myself to get a revelation out of it. If I get a revelation, that's great. It's from the Lord. It's not for me to force it. Now I understand that. Now I also understand that I don't have to be dependent on my walks. If I don't go for walk, that means I did not have my quiet time. Or if I don't have my worship music, that doesn't mean I don't have my quiet time. So it's been a good journey. Now my quiet time looks like cooking. Like I don't play any music, or I don't play any background music. I enjoy the sounds of the nature. I enjoy the sound of cutting and talking to God while I'm cooking or reading something, journaling. It's even when I'm in bus going to work, that's my quiet time. Instead of sitting there and listening to a podcast or watching a YouTube channel or checking emails or scrolling on Instagram, I watch the traffic and spend time with God. There's a train. Yeah, that's my quiet time now. It's been an interesting journey. Now I don't beat myself up if I don't sit there for 1 hour or 2 hours, but I still aspire to one day be able to spend 2.5 hours of my day to tithe my time to God, and when I reach that point, I will let you guys know what I do. But yeah, that's my prayer, that one day I will reach that. Yeah. So wherever you are in that journey of finding your quiet time and what works for you, just be patient and know that if you keep at it and be consistent, just be adamant that you want to spend time with God and you want to build that relationship with God and intimacy with God, He will teach you the rest. Whether it's reading Bible or listening to worship music or journaling, whatever works for you, He knows and He will lead you. So yeah, just be patient. And that's it for me. Comment down the way you spend time with God, what your quiet time looks like. I will try to edit and put some videos which I recorded way long before, yeah, let's see how this turns out. Until then, you take care, have a good day or night, and like, share, subscribe. Am I missing something? Or in the bell icon, I think it will be somewhere here. I will be so happy if I get this right. Yeah, and see ya. I'll see you in next video. Bye.